because first and second week, yes, I was talking to my ex.
Put a finger down. No, actually, put your hand up. Or drop a hand up emoji in the comments if you're not surprised by Themba's recent admission that he lied to Sponono, her family, his own family, Nelisa, and by extension us, the viewers of Married at First Sight Mzansi, when he went to that show knowing he was customarily married. He made the admission in a recent video responding to Sponono's nephew, who put him on blast for lying to his aunt by customarily marrying her, by not only paying damages for the kids, paying damages and lobola, something Themba admitted in his own video. He lied to her by paying those things, maintaining a relationship with her, even if he wasn't happy. He still maintained a relationship with her. Lied to her about going on this show and strung her along. He admits this in his video. For the first 2 weeks he was on the show, he had her under the impression that they were going to work things out and they were building their family, only for him to actually get on the show and be like, actually, I like this partner that they gave me, so now I'm going to blow up my whole family and choose this union. And he's trying to paint this whole thing as, oh, I choose myself, I'm being a self-aware king, using all that language that he probably learned from Mutsepo, let's be real, using that language to disguise the fact that he blew up his own family, deceived his new wife, deceived the producers of the show, and deceived everyone, basically, to pull off this and get into a new relationship. And before you guys try to defend him and be like, oh, it happens, he fell in love, blah, 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 think about how old this goddamn man is. He's old enough to tell people the truth. He's old enough to end his marriage properly before getting into a new marriage. He's old enough to own up to his mistakes before he's exposed. This doesn't make him some sort of altruistic, romantic man who went on a show and found the love of his life. He is a deceitful man who blew up his family, ruined his children's chances of forming a good bond with their new stepmother, and also just ruined how the families are going to get along. Because it's not just Nelisa and her family who he's deceived his own family, who he dragged along to form a new union with the mother of his children and the children, and also her family. Do you guys realize how big this thing is that Themba's done? He can't be like, oh, I chose to be selfish and choose myself. You can still choose yourself and be honest. There isn't anything about choosing yourself that requires you to be a dishonest and distasteful person. I'm also going to need some experts to speak about the avoidant way in which he handles discussions. First, when he told Nelisa, and he never wants to call a thing and speak directly. He loves speaking in circles and he doesn't want to say a thing. He told Nelisa, oh, I shouldn't have told you about my problems. Oh, my ex this, my ex that, boundaries, I made a mistake. Like, I hate the way he doesn't call a thing. Even at the beginning of this video, where he tries to dismiss Usponono's nephew and pretend like he doesn't know that guy or doesn't remember his name. He remembers his name very well. I'm sure he's watched that TikTok video a million times before deciding to make his own TikTok video in response to that. I also hate how at the beginning of his video he tried to play like he's trying to follow the NDA by calling Nelisa the cast member Umuntu mdala Themba. You've already broken your NDA actually by making the video that you made today. You might as well call your partner by her name. And then at the end you try and walk it back and be like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to choose her on the day of. We already know y'all both chose each other. You actually spoiled the show. And you're in breach of your NDA. And I hope they get your ass for that. And he's acting like there aren't young children at the center of all of this. At least Nelisa's child is a man. He's old enough to decide how he's going to feel about this man either way. Themba's children are so young. They probably also still had hope that their parents were going to be okay. And yes, parents break up and whatever, but as a person who lives in 2025, you've seen several couples divorce. You've seen several couples break up. You've seen several children impacted by their parents' divorce for you to be able to choose to be better, for you to be able to choose to be a more mature and modern man, to sit with the mother of your children first, break up with her, give her time to come to terms with the breakup, and then both of you come up with a plan for how you're going to dissolve that union in a way that works for the children. Put the children first. And then, thereafter, you move on. Not this, oops, I tripped and landed in a new marriage. Even if you're going on a show where you saw a stranger for the first time, you went into that show, chose to apply to that show, knowing that your ass was married. And all of you who are bending over backwards in the comments about whether this marriage is valid or not, let's read a few resources. According to burgerhazerattorneys.co.za, and I'm saying the website so you guys can go and access it and read it for yourselves, the requirements for a valid customary marriage as of 2024 are that lobola must be fixed, the marriage must be negotiated, celebrated, and concluded in terms of customary law, and Sponono's cousin or nephew or whatever posted pictures, the lobola letter, all of that is present in this, and Themba himself admitted that these things were agreed to and exchanged. The couple must be consenting adults. If one or more of the parties are minors, both his or her parents or legal guardian must give consent to the marriage. The parties must be competent to marry each other, meaning that they must not be blood relatives, and neither of the parties should already be in a civil marriage. The marriage also needs to be registered at a Department of Home Affairs within 3 months of concluding it, and the Department of Home Affairs will issue a marriage certificate. But, and this is according to this attorney's website, failure to register a marriage does not deem it invalid. The marriage will be legally binding even if the parties fail to register the marriage at the Department of Home Affairs. Themba is in a legally binding marriage to Usponono. For the next point, I'm going to need the lawyers to step in here because I need them and their up-to-date knowledge of the law that's ever-changing to answer this, but I'm using an AI overview here, where I asked, can a South African who is customarily married enter into a civil union? The AI overview says no, you cannot enter into a civil union while already in a customary marriage with another party. Now, there are laws that govern polygamy in this country, which govern that you cannot blindside your existing partner with a marriage, which is what Themba did. His marriage to Nelisa is invalid. And I get that they may want to continue and make this thing valid going forward, but there are rules that he's going to have to follow and laws that he's going to have to follow to make his marriage to Nelisa valid. And I get that because she's like, oh, I trust my man, I'm going to follow my man, or whatever. She's just going to be like, oh, I'm not going anywhere and stick by him. If that man dies, it all goes to Sponono and the children. Additionally, Nelisa is married too. So in an article that I wrote in August, where she was speaking to some of her followers in the post that she made about her marriage, she said she was still thinking about her union to Themba, and that at that time in mid-August, it wasn't yet clear to her. And then she went on some bird-ass tangent saying how many South African men pay lobola for multiple women. And then she's like, so is Thembu. In your mind, you are in a Thembu, not under South African law. She also said that her father of her son actually paid lobola for her back in the day, but they never made it official, and then he went on to marry someone else. Nelisa, you're customarily married too, sweetheart. So your husband or your ex-husband or whoever the hell you want to call him, his current marriage is technically invalid under the law. It's just that you and that lady are going to let it go and not challenge it in a court of law, but you guys also broke the law. So all of you, in the year of our Lord 2025, with the same information I have in my hands that I used to make this video, chose to just go and play by ear and act like there aren't consequences for your actions. And I'm flabbergasted. But anyway, guys, hop in the comments, let me know what you think. And I'm gonna say, drop a purple heart in the comments if you think Connect TV and MultiChoice need to make their NDAs for next season more airtight, because we can't have more of this. This is a mess. These people done spoiled the goddamn show. We're still gonna watch, but we're pissed off, aren't we?